and welcome to another episode of Two Chicks, One Screen. And today, I feel like the last couple movies that we picked, I'm not a fan of. And it's funny because Class Act was one of those movies where it got reran so many times during my childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if y'all don't know, the movie we watched is Class Act. It like Channel 5 KTLA ran those reruns so much that in my mind, the real only part of the movie that I remember is them being in the Wack Museum running around, right? Only part of the movie.
Okay.
I watched the movie as an adult.
Yeah.
Lulu, this is one of your favorite movies?
It is.
Why?
First of all, I like a lot of nonsense.
Okay, it is hilariously comedic.
Yeah, so
I didn't laugh.
also
Okay.
I'm really a big fan of Kid and Play regardless.
Okay.
And so I just thought it was so funny how they had to switch roles and you got Duncan Pinderhughes played by Kid, got bullied into being Blade Brown, played by Play. So he wouldn't go back to juvie or regular jail because now he was going to be of age.
Okay, so I need background because I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
In this movie,
yeah,
these are teenage children, right?
Teenage children, seniors in high school.
Seniors, okay, clarify. Seniors in high school, which means they are between the age of 16, 17, and 18 on the cusp, right? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
These are still minors, right? Okay. I had to keep reminding myself as I watched the movie that these are minors, right? Because I have a whole lot of questions about some of the scenarios and situations that they had gotten to.
Right. So again, we start off, them showing their lives growing up until that point and how the only thing that the scholar, because Duncan, played by Kid, was straight A student, model person, never done nothing wrong, never had a paper cut, even all this, but he couldn't pass gym because obviously he was, in quotations, nerd, right? Blade Brown.
The stigma of every nerd is they can't be athletic, right?
Exactly, right. So Blade Brown in that respect was the complete opposite. Got into all kind of trouble. Was into the porno since he was in 3rd grade. Was watching girls with older girls, what it looked like when he was in middle school and stuff like this here. With the high school girls at that point, he had gift of gab. It really did show that all the way. Then he was in juvie, and this was his second chance. If you mess up here, you done. And he needed all the school knowledge, which he did not have. He was athletic, but he had a knowledge of self. Well, he didn't think so.
Right. He was more, we'll say you have one who's book smart and you have street smart.
He was definitely street smart. He definitely had it. Okay.
Right. And again, I had to keep reminding myself that this is a 17-year-old boy.
And of course, first day of school, the very big breasted a secretary.
High school.
Like, my thing was, you was tantalizing the shit out of these little children because you had this a lot of body, yaddy. Like really? You could never, not now. They were like, miss, you'd had a case because you'd been having sex with one of these little children. Okay, we'd have seen you on the news thing somewhere. So when the pictures switch, which anytime I see the movie, I'd be like, that is fucked up. How you didn't know that wasn't him? Like, in my mind, I'm upset. Like, really? You thought?
Yeah. How did this? How did you? Yeah, no.
So then we have Duncan Pinderhughes going to and I have to say, like, I don't know if in that time they actually were classes outside the goddamn school building that housed the disruptive children, in quotation, the hard to teach.
Well, in my in my elementary school, there was the main building, and then there were like bungalows, and that's where they had. And at the time that I went to school, they called it special ed.
Okay.
They were in a separate classroom from all of us that were in the
I mean,
main.
no, they had special ed classes, but they were in a whole nother, they weren't even in the same damn building.
Right, right.
They was outside the school, like over there. Very segregated. So in the beginning, we see Duncan getting already bullied by Flex, and he was like, "Get out my seat, boy." This not how much seat did he have?
Right.
Then he runs into the girl's breast. That was there's a lot of breasts. I will say there was a lot of breasts in
This
this
was
movie.
a very sexual movie.
It was very breast heavy
for high schoolers. If they make this movie today, I cringe the entire movie.
Ooh, oh my. So he was with Demeter, the titties, right? Because more titties again. And, that was the first real interaction of two high schoolers getting all physical. The child had on dead near no clothes anyway. Then in comes our bully, who looked like he was 25.
Right. I want to say all of these actors did not look like they were in high school. Everybody looked like they should have been this should have been a junior college.
It could have been a community college.
More believable.
And he came in, wanted to just roundhouse the man. Demeter really likes.
Did she?
I mean, she did. She liked his light skinnedness. I felt like, and in them times for that movie, if you was light skin was the right skin. Okay, so you got a lot of play. Oh shit. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like what you giving, you look, and I think for me, the way she looked at him, he was innocent. She felt like, he ain't been with nobody. I can really put him to town, is what I felt like. She could doja him.
But she wanted him because he was Blade Brown. That was his stigma.
Yes.
Everybody knew who he was. He was this all-knowing person, right? So she knew of the person, and she was going after
the
name and everything that came with it, not the actual person. That's what I'm saying. Did she really like him, or was she just going after what she could get from it?
Yes, because when she was talking with friends at the lunch table, she was like, "Girl, that's Blade Brown. You heard he did to that girl." I was like, "Oh, did he? What happened?" Mm-hmm. That was our Yelp back in the day.
No, because there were times when you knew of certain people from different schools that did not attend your school.
That's it.
They made a name for themselves,
mm-hmm.
and it was fun for that time. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm well aware, well versed of that. But like, oh, you know so and so? Oh, for you know him? I cannot also get to know him. No, you can't. No, you can't. Right. I don't know why you know that I know him, but you can't know him.
But how do you know him?
Right.
About how I know him.
That's like somebody being that popular, and I know them from over here in New York and then in California. Like, wait a minute now. Right. How you know them?
Now when Blade, he meets. I can't think of her. What's her name?
Oh Lord. See, not a name escaping, but we know her as Hillary Banks, right?
Right.
It'll come back. He was in the good class, right? Look, even the teacher was trying to give him some.
So that whole teacher trying to talk to student thing, and I was just like, who wrote this? Why?
Is it not a thing that's being talked about way too much right now?
Why is the teacher pushing up on this little young child? Because he's smart?
Yes, she was attracted to his brains.
Right.
She wanted to mentally seduce that child. The long and short way.
Right. So we, everybody's meeting up, everybody getting into a fight. The two end up meeting and realizing that this is going to be what they're going to do. They're going to each pretend. Now, my issue comes in where this 17-year-old boy walks into these grown people's house and tells them what they said gonna do, and nobody spoke actual words. The dad just made facial expressions, and I was just like, no, no.
But can we take a step real back and be like, why he had that whole? I mean, I understand in California you guys drive, younger, but like that was a really tricked out vehicle for this guy who just came out of jail.
Let's go back to their transportation again. How did the 17-year-old have this car? This trick out car.
He just came home. Like, how was somebody holding the vehicle for you?
On top of, because I'm gonna fast forward, the nigga had a motorcycle too, right? Because he showed up to the house, and I'm like, who is funding all of this?
Well, he was very popular. Yeah, so he went to Duncan's house and basically bogarted people there. First of all, if you come to my house and you banging on my door, I'm not opening the door. I'm gonna call the police.
No. You ring the doorbell 6-7 times,
and then you blah, 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 blah. What's the problem?
And it came in rude.
Now told the boy where he gonna go. The parents talk about. Well, I didn't know he had a gender. That was funny for me.
That was right.
I was like, what?
Right, because it was like, oh shit. Okay, they didn't see their son as being any sort of type of sexual. He was just, he could have
been definitely asexual. This
possibly. Definitely.
Well, he thought he was asexual.
So this next scene that comes up is them going to a club, where they are drinking. Again, how the fuck are 17-year-olds doing?
And he pulling grown women,
ass women.
Grown women. Oh, where you been? The woman just come up and kiss the man in the mouth. Oh, I remember you. How you remember from the kiss in the mouth?
I was sitting there on the edge of my bed, astonished, like, I'm glad this came out when I was little, because I am befuddled.
And poor Duncan couldn't pull out of nobody. He just ain't had
no need to be in there.
I mean, this is true, but he also didn't have no game to have game. Why was he talking about York peppermint patty? That cracked me up. I was like, oh baby. He was like having 3 sons with 2 girls. You saw that on that. Now he definitely was about 4 or 5 of them.
One.
Yes. Whispering sweet nothing in grown women's ears.
Again. What? You could not pay me to sleep with a 17-year-old right now.
No. Oh no. Oh Lord. Oh no. Oh shoot.
There is no, you couldn't pay me to sleep with anybody under the age of 30 right now.
These are facts. Then
also there's no attraction. So I'm like, what the fuck was he talking about to be whispering sweet nothings in somebody's ear?
He just had to gift the gab. He was saying what they wanted to hear and they was listening. Let's move forward with when he went back and now he's teaching him all, the moves and all this. Why would you think it was okay for you to take that gold tooth out your mouth and put it in my own mouth?
Again, I sat on the edge of my bed going, why? Now, we didn't fast forward to them going to school, them getting him beating up the little person, and whatever. So now he's the man of the school and everybody's on him. And the girl that she's talking about, she needs to
help with the science. You need to come play with my frog, Demeter.
Right. That was a lovely joke. I enjoyed that. Don't bring your frog this way.
Ain't happening no more.
Right.
Let me say so. Demeter was ready because when she came up with that red dress, she would have gave it up right there. If he'd have been like boom, she'd have been like yes.
But me listening, she was already fast because the man sitting on the port on the sofa said she used to be his girl, and I'm like, how old are you?
I really think he was lying. I think he was jealous that she never gave him no play. That's my opinion of it. I think because I've seen it when somebody's like, "Oh, I had them anyway." You ain't had not near not a piece of that girl. She know you was an old pervert. She ain't want none. She might have been fast, but she wasn't fast with you, and you probably was sour about that. But I did like the fact that she did have a job and she wanted to do something.
Okay, that was another thing. So the girl got a job at the wax museum, and she was high up enough to design the poster or design how they stood.
She wasn't specific, so we do not know.
I was like, well, damn, she got a job. I was like, I did not remember her having this job.
But she definitely wanted him. She done kissed that man all into half a stroke. I feel like he was getting some leg spasms when he dropped her back off. If that was some sexual tension, she was like, "Well, I will tear you all out these clothes right now."
Now, Miss Hillary Banks, I'm not gonna find her name, so whatever.
I swear, it's like on the tip of my tongue.
She was definitely a little hot to try. Also, explaining that Shakespeare, was about orgasm, and I found it really interesting how he compared the pistons of a car to sexual reproduction.
Exactly.
And that line about that if it's not lube, make sure it's lube, right? I heard that part.
And we're all about that. What? Lube? Of course.
Oh yeah. You lube a car, you lube a woman.
That's
same shit.
Need that lube. And so, we tied up. And what I love, running to the end of the movie is that after he done got kidnapped and all these lot of things happening between that, in between the time that actual Blade was in the car with Hillary, which I don't know why we can't remember her name, Lord. Was in the car getting a little feel up on. She was ready to get it too. She was ready for the knowledge of self.
Little hot asses.
At the end, when they found out all the truth, they still ended up with one another. And Duncan now ends up with Demeter. And he done went home and now, breaking that thing out. And the father's like, wait a minute, what's that? My thing was, why are you offering beverages? Why are you taking a survey?
Why you go back to your wife and say she's stacked? Because I would have slapped him like, nigga, the
dog shit out of it. And why you just allowing that? And then why was the mother getting aroused that her son was having sex?
These are questions we will never find out.
I know, never. I was like, wait, why? You're not supposed to be aroused for that.
But I did have a moment where I was like, oh, that's Tommy from Martin, right? That's
his job.
Had money, and he could never explain what his job was because he was a drug dealer.
That is a point that I definitely did make once Martin did start. I was like, oh, see, that's it right there. Got it.
Now, I was a bit on the concern side because we were selling drugs to the teenagers and trying to get money from the teenagers. So I did like how they had an anti-drug party,
I'm happy that the go-go dancers got sick because I don't know where they would have been doing the go-go dance, and that didn't seem like that should have been there as well.
It didn't match, but you got to look at the source of who was throwing the party. You would definitely think that he was the one doing drugs, but say no to drugs.
Oh no, all day.
It is an hour and 20-something minute long movie.
I did watch it a lot on Sundays myself too because I didn't have cable. It did come on, so yeah, I think on channel like 11 or something.
Right, either 5 or 11 were big for reruns. I have
the VHS also, so
I definitely just remember them running through the museum, and I thought, oh, high school is fun. You get to go out a lot on your own. Yeah, that shit don't happen. Okay, I seldom was ever alone at that
That's
age.
it. He ain't going for lunch and come back. Where are you going? Nowhere. Not a place. So anyway, listeners, that was it for Class Act. Take a look if you never watched it. See what your opinions are. I think it's on Tubi for a couple more days. See what happens with that. Was a classic for me. Chris was like, I'm not watching that ever again, but it's all good.
Ever again.
We see you on the next one.